Oh no, not another video about AI. Well, look, guys, I can't help that they keep coming up with man-made dystopian horrors beyond my imagination. This time, developers have created an AI to generate police sketches. Man, what a time to be alive. Imagine being the victim of a crime. You're sitting there inside of the police station, blanket around your shoulders, drinking some cocoa, and the police chief is sitting with you. He's a larger man with a kind face and a fatherly mustache, and he pats you on the shoulder and he tells you, "It's gonna be okay, son. We're gonna catch that bastard who hurt you." And then he walks away and a robot rolls out to greet you. "Hi, I'm Officer Bot. I'm going to generate a police sketch of the person who victimized you. Please start typing descriptions of the person into my prompt box." Now, obviously, this is a horrible idea, but you might not realize just how horrible this idea is. Ladies and gentlemen, there are several different levels of stupid at play here. The concept of AI police sketches contains layers of dumb. It's like a big dumb onion, a dumbion, if you will. And it's been a while since we've talked about any dumbions here, so let's start peeling back the layers. Not even classic, human-generated, old-fashioned police sketches have a tendency to be useful for catching criminals. Most of the time, the sketches don't even look anything like the criminals they're supposed to portray. I actually pulled up some examples for this video, and this isn't even me trying to cherry pick data. This is just literally the first police sketches that I could find that were side by side with the actual criminals. So we've got this guy here. Doesn't look a whole lot like the sketch, right? His hair is different, his eyebrows are different, his eyes are different, his nose is different. His nose is like almost like a pig snout, right? It's turned up all weird. That's not how his nose actually looks. His mouth is completely different. I don't know. I mean, his mouth isn't open here. Here, you know, we're expected to believe that he's got the biggest buck teeth and the thinnest lips ever, that there were no way for him to hide these teeth. But yeah, I mean, clearly he is in his mugshot or whatever photo this is. Here, come on, these guys don't look anything alike. On the right, this guy is like, I don't know, this almost looks like a Vietnamese man. Like, this doesn't even look like a black guy. And I mean, yeah, this is a black guy over here on the right, or I don't know, maybe he's mixed with something, but definitely looks like a black guy. These are two completely different looking people that you've got, the sketch versus the actual criminal. And again, we have two completely different looking people. I mean, this dude's in his sketch is like rocking a Jufro kind of, and he's like got a unibrow. You might think that this is a Jewish person, right? But no, I mean, in real life, I mean, I don't know, maybe he is, but it doesn't look like it. And over here, right, this area above his lip is ginormous in his police sketch, and in the real him, it's not. The chin is different. Almost everything is different. I don't know, maybe the ears look kind of sort of similar, but that's it. The eyes are different, the nose is different, and definitely the hair is different. So here we have an example where the police sketch is actually better. This guy wishes he looked like his police sketch. This is the guy that's been stealing this dude's girlfriend since like the first grade. Yeah, again, these guys don't look anything alike. I mean, at least they're the same race in this case, but yeah, nose is totally different. The lips are totally different. The jawline is different, right? Like this guy actually has like kind of a good jawline. This dude's jawline is invisible. Let's see. Again, these dudes don't look the same. Totally different hairline, different foreheads, different nose. Actually, the noses aren't that different. This one's like turned up a little bit more. It seems like a lot of the time they're turning people's noses up. I don't know what it is with sketch artists doing that. But yeah, different jawline. These are different people. Again, these are different people. I mean, I guess he had hair and then shaved his head, but totally different shaped face. Like this guy in the sketch almost looks like he's mixed race, or like I don't know, like maybe some kind of Asian or like dark skinned Indian, where like, because it looks like he's got straight hair, and I can't imagine that this guy's hair was very straight when he did have hair. And I mean, come on. What is this? This was done in MS Paint over here on the left. So you see what I mean. A lot of the time these sketches are just not matching what these people actually look like. And I really do think in cases where people appear to be a completely different ethnicity than the person that they're actually portraying is especially bad. Things like mismatched hair textures, mismatched facial structures, and things like that. It might actually be worse to release something like this to the public than releasing nothing at all, at least here in America. And I'm not sure if it's the same in other countries. I assume it would be in countries that are very diverse. Race is one of the primary descriptors that are used for suspects. Whether you're watching police activity, you can go watch that if you don't believe me, when cops are describing suspects to each other on the radio, or if you listen to recordings of when people call 911, the first thing that they're going to ask you about the suspect is, are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? That's always what they ask. Now, not all police sketch artists suck. When doing research for this video, I discovered Miss Lois Gibson of Houston, Texas, who has helped solve more than 1,000 crimes with her sketches. And yeah, you can see with these that they are actually pretty accurate. You know, these people look pretty similar. These dudes look pretty similar. It seems like the sketches a lot of the time are just like more attractive or like better looking versions of the people. Like this dude could maybe clean up to look like this guy. This is probably the most different one that I've seen, where like the sketch looking different from the actual suspect. But again, it's not that different to where like these guys could be cousins, right? They look similar enough. Yeah, these ones are really similar. And again, here's another example where it's like the actual suspect on the right, you know, looks like a piece of trash. And then on the left is like an alternate life. It's like, this is the guy's brother who stayed in the Eagle Scouts and then went off to join the military and, you know, became a productive member of society. But you get the idea, right? These sketches at least kind of sort of look like the people who they're portraying. They're not always super bad. But from my research, it seems like only like 20%, maybe 30% of the time, the sketches kind of look like the person, and then 70% of the time, the sketch looks nothing like the real perp. But here's the thing. Even if you have the greatest police sketch artist of all time, they still didn't see the guy. They don't have any reference images from CCTV most of the time. In fact, if you look at the dates on some of these sketches, they might be difficult to see, but a lot of them are dated in like the 90s and the 80s. So yeah, probably before CCTV was even really common. So everything that these sketch artists are doing most of the time is just based off of the victim's description or based off of eyewitness descriptions, which is the core of this dummian. The fact that eyewitness testimony absolutely sucks. So you may have seen some videos like this in school where they tell you to count how many times these kids are passing the ball back and forth. And there's variations of this where you're supposed to pay attention to something that's going on in the video. You're supposed to focus on some part of it. And most of the people who do focus on this fail to see the guy in the gorilla suit who walks into the middle of the frame, beats his chest for a bit, and then walks away. Some of the people in the video even react to the gorilla. So it's something that you should see, it's something you should pick up on, but again, most of the people watching are not going to see him. And this is a situation where you're actually being told to pay attention to something, right? Because most of the people that are just walking around in the street, or they're going out to a gas station or any of these other places where crime commonly happens, they usually aren't paying that much attention. They've got their headphones in, you know, their eyes are looking at their phone, maybe they're FaceTiming with someone, and you're expecting that person to give a description of the guy who robbed them to be accurate? No, it's a miracle that most police sketches even look like human beings at all. And now that masks are normalized in the West, at least the surgical face masks, it's not going to be unusual to see, well, most people wearing masks, especially in cities, or at least in more liberal cities, because of course masks are politicized, just like everything in America. But anyway, the chances are that a criminal who just attacked you was wearing some kind of a face covering at this time is very, very high, because again, just about everyone is doing that in certain cities. And this isn't just speculation, okay? You can go and watch police body camera footage or surveillance footage of people committing crimes, and you're gonna see lots of gangsters in surgical masks taking advantage of the new mask wearing trend. So who in their right mind thought that it would be a great idea to resurrect police artistry, police sketch artistry, and then just pony that task off to AI, especially an AI that's going to create hyper realistic photos. Okay, that's the whole point of police sketches, is to just narrow down some of the perp's features. That's why it's a sketch. It's not a portrait, it's not a painting, it's a sketch. If you try to create a hyper realistic face without the proper inputs from the victim to actually draw that, and like I said, most of the inputs that you're going to get from the victim are going to be complete garbage, you're going to end up with pictures that look nothing like the real perp. The AI is going to be spitting out images that don't look like your guy, but they might probably look exactly like an innocent person. So yeah, that's going to lead to a whole lot more problems. I really don't understand why anyone would even want to resurrect this technology with AI when we already live in a world that's filled with high resolution cameras. Like, if someone commits a crime, such as a robbery or an assault, especially in the city or the suburbs, there's a good chance that the bad guy was going to be caught on several different cameras, CCTV, Ring cameras, people's cell phones. It makes way more sense to release stills from those videos to the public to help with catching a criminal, since the camera is going to capture an accurate picture of what the person looks like. In a world of smartphones and Ring doorbells, there's just no reason to move forward with nonsense like forensic AI. And let's be real, it's only a matter of time until the AI starts getting a little bit racist, because that's practically a universal law of artificial intelligence, at least whenever it's trained on data from the internet. So one day a victim is going to start describing a perp to this thing, and they're going to describe him as like the most fluorescent white, red-haired, ginger. They're basically going to describe Seamus to them, and the AI is just going to start printing off pictures of random black dudes. Don't let Tay take over your police force. She's just going to make things worse.